Hello everyone, welcome back, and today we're gonna have a truly fun one for you guys. Let me introduce you to my Flame Slinger. The exotic we're gonna be using is young Hamakara Spine with the straight Wish Dragon's Teeth, which states increase trip mine grenade duration and blast radius, and gain trip mine grenade energy from ability final blows. We're going to be utilizing the last end of the trait to its fullest extent today with our other abilities, while we incinerate everything in front of us, buffing our teammates and debuffing any bosses we encounter. Now if you're sitting there wondering, why the hell are you using young Hamakara's Spine instead of Caliban's Hand or Ophidia's Spade with like Impact Inductor? Well, you see, it's actually very simple. Impact Inductor will only give us a max of 20% with 3 mods stacked, and it has a 7-second cooldown before it can be activated again. Where Spine, on the other hand, gives us a 33% grenade energy on a 0.3 second cooldown. So we're going to be able to get our grenade back with what seems like lightning speed compared to those other exotics. That being said, Impact Inductor can still be used on this build, but it's just not something you really want to depend on that much. Now, I'm gonna be honest guys, I am a bit of an ability whore.
What did he say?
So when I see or find something that lets me spam my abilities freely, that's something I really gravitate towards. And this season, this is definitely one of those builds. What makes it better is that it's incredibly simple, so let's get into it. First up is young Hamakara Spine. So obviously we're going to be using trip mines, and I like to use explosive throw knife because, well, explosions. And pair with a gambler's dodge to get our knife back when we dodge near enemies. Aspects will be knock them down to get our knife back on kill, and gunpowder's gamble to help clear out adds in a given area. Now remember that gunpowder gamble did receive a buff a while back and now allows for 2 fragment slots and has only a 5-second cooldown. So this means more explosions more often. Speaking of fragments, first is Ember of Torches to become and grant Radiant to allies. Next up is Ember of Searing to create fire sprites when defeating scorched targets, and fire sprites themselves also grant grenade energy. Ember of Mercy to grant restoration when reviving allies, and also grants restoration when you pick up a fire sprite. And finally Ember of Empyrean to extend the duration of restoration and Radiant on solar weapon final blows. Now before someone brings it up, yes, I do know that the bug with Ember of Mercy and Ember of Empyrean is still around. For anyone who doesn't know, if you pick up a fire sprite, it resets your restoration instead of extending it. But if you use the fire sprites to jumpstart the restoration process or pick them up to gain grenade energy after clearing out a given area, it's still annoying, but it's less of an issue. But if you just rather not deal with it, it's fine, you can swap Ember of Empyrean out for something else. But seriously, Bungie for real, fix this, has been too damn long. Now with the seasonal mods, now this is where things start to get a little interesting. First up is Kindling Trigger, which states Radiant causes solar weapons to apply Scorch to unscorched combatants. Now obviously most of us can be using something with incandescent, but with this perk, this means any solar weapon can now spread Scorch. Just take a look at this clip. I'm able to scorch any enemy I'm hitting with this Arctic Haze auto rifle that we got back in Beyond Light. This does not have incandescent. It has Dragonfly, but not incandescent. So with Kindling Trigger, any solar weapon, including heavy, can now scorch targets. So if you got something in the vault that you wish you could scorch adds with, bust that baby out and let it breathe for a bit. Now's its time to shine. Next up is Heart of the Flame, which gives increased super damage for every nearby ally and gives them Radiant as well. So for all my marksman hunters, you won't be doing Celestial Nighthawk damage, but it will be increased. Next is Revitalizing Blast, where causing damage with solar ability weakens champions and bosses for a short duration. This is about 6 seconds and includes grenades and throwing knives. Unfortunately, not Gunpowder's Gamble for some reason. Why? I don't know. Kind of a letdown, but at least it deals some decent damage. And finally, the perk that's been the talk of the town this season, Torch. And it says, while Radiant deal increased weapon damage to combatants affected by strand or stasis debuffs. And it just so happens we got Scatter Signal this season with Slice, the new perk, making it easier than ever to place a strand debuff on targets. So now we laid out all the pieces to the puzzle, let's put this thing together, shall we? You use your grenade to start off every engagement, and then use your throwing knives to get your grenade energy back and build up Gunpowder Gamble at the same time. That is the basic gameplay with this thing. Very straightforward, very easy. while granting Radiant to our teammates and Restoration if you're using Ember Vampirion the way I suggested. Now for boss DPS, use your grenades and throwing knives to keep the boss weak with Revitalizing Blast. Remember, every proc of Revitalizing Blast is about 6 seconds long. So with your initial grenade, your first throwing knife, and the second throwing knife you can get back for Gambler's Dodge, that's 18 seconds of the boss being weakened to incoming damage. Now notice I never mentioned any exotic weapon. I'm using Dragon's Breath, but you can pretty much use anything you want. Even Witherhoard is a pretty decent option with this. Now if you're using Scatter Signal with Slice, switch to it before using your dodge to activate Slice and get your throwing knife back. Now hopefully there's a teammate that's running something that can do that for you, but it's just something to keep in mind. No, this build is not game breaking, but it's really simple. It's really fun, guys, believe me, and allows us to play that support role while still dealing a ton of damage. And that's gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, but above all else, keep a kind heart, a keen mind, and a savage soul. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.